I used to walk for miles each week, but didn't lose any weight. People would assume that as a morbidly obese person that I was out of shape, which was not so. So how did I finally get exercise to help me lose weight? I changed what I did. When I was Big Catherine, I would exercise because I'd been told that exercise was the key to losing weight. Now, at one point, I was visiting different client sites in London. So I'd go in by train, the tube each morning to wherever I was teaching, and then teach all day, and then walk from the client site to Liverpool Street Station to get the train home. Sometimes it would be a mile, but there was one site I went to a lot that was over 4 miles away. And I did this for years. Now, after I had weight loss surgery, I was actually full of energy for about 2 weeks, and it was absolutely great. But I had to be careful that I didn't overdo it. But I actually went for walks and felt really good. But only 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, it was like I hit a brick wall. Well, it was more like walking through treacle. I was sluggish and slow. Everything was an effort. So I started taking iron supplements, and they helped a bit, but I was always tired, and when I changed where I was working and I could walk from Fenchurch Street, which it was the news station I was at that point, which is just, the office was just past St. Paul's. It's about half an hour walk each way. I would get home, make dinner, feed the cats, and go to bed. I had no energy to do anything. I knew I couldn't live like that, so I decided to try something different. If you've watched my other videos, you'll know that after weight loss surgery, I actually didn't succeed. It wasn't a magic pill. I hardly lost any weight. I wasn't eating enough. And what I learned about exercise is actually for everybody, not just those who've had surgery. Exercise, weight loss surgery, diet, support networks, and more, they're all tools. Using several can help you succeed, but if you're like me and using them wrong, then you'll never reach your goal. And you'll struggle and you'll feel you're a failure, like I did for years. So please, learn from my mistakes and what I've learned. So I'd been out working and walking for years and years, and it was the weight loss surgery that made me realize that what I was doing was like being in a car with spinning tires. A lot of action, but no movement. So when I found myself tired, not losing weight, needing tons of sleep all the time, I would have normally kept pushing myself and doing more exercise. But instead of pushing myself, I actually stopped and went back to basics. So my Fitbit was set to 10,000 steps a day as the goal. At that time, I never was reaching that goal. My average was less than 4,000 a day. So I stopped trying to force the number of steps I did, and I changed my goal down to 250 steps. Yes, 250, so next to nothing. I started taking the bus to and from the train station to the office, and basically I stopped and reset everything. So, yeah. It took a few days, probably around 3 days, doing as very little walking as I could. And then I started looking to see if I'd succeeded in my step of 250. And when I'd exceeded that step goal of 250 in 3 days in a row, I increased it by 250. So the first time it was easy. And every time I reached my goal 3 days in a row, I would increase it by another 250 again. So after I'd been doing this a few weeks, I had more than just the minimum. But by then, I started to feel actually quite better, like I could actually do more. I could walk more. I continued to do that, the 3 days increased by 250, until I got to 10,000 steps, and I actually felt great. But what does that have to do with weight loss? Well, studies have shown that exercise has less to do with weight loss than a lot of people are saying. Obviously, this depends on what study you're looking at and the quality of the study, but I'll go into that in another video. But really, successful weight loss is accomplished by using many tools, and exercise is just one of them. It has benefits that actually go beyond weight loss and should be incorporated into our lives, whether we're trying to lose weight or not. But you need to know more. First thing I'm going to talk about stress levels. Stress affects weight. Now, some people, it can cause a weight gain, others weight loss, and a few no change in weight. But if you go for a workout, and it doesn't have to be a strenuous workout, it can be a low intensity one, it will actually help your stress levels. Now, exercise reduces the amount of cortisol levels in the body. Stress increases cortisol levels, so exercising reduces this and makes you feel better. Let me know in the comments if you've actually exercised to reduce stress, or whether you've just exercised and you felt that it has had a little bit of impact or a great impact on the stress that you were feeling. Okay, but saying all this, not all exercise is equal. Learned this the hard way. If you have a fitness tracker, one of those watches or whatever, you may have information about the intensity of exercise. Now, I first learned about this it must be over 15 years ago when I read a book by a woman who lived in Hawaii. Now, I can't remember the name of this book, otherwise I'd tell you. So if you do know about it, I have tried to look it up. Please do write it in the comments. Now, she had a very strict diet, was very, very low fat and very natural. But she was also specific about exercise, explaining that there were different intensities. She even had calculations to find out what heartbeat you should stay into to get the most out of it, to get the most fat burning. Nowadays, we have fitness trackers like Garmin, Apple, Fitbit, etc. So you actually don't need those calculations unless you want to. You can manually calculate, it's okay. But what are these zones? Now, different people call them different things. It can be low, medium, and high intensity. I've also heard anaerobic, aerobic, and fat burning zones as well. And every time I do more research or take more courses, another name seems to pop up. But basically, we're talking about your heart rate. Now, I'm not going to talk about resistance or muscle building in this video. We'll look at that in another one. If you exercise and your heart rate goes up very high, this can be really bad for you, like cause yourself harm, especially if done for long periods of time. Some people, for even short periods of time, it can cause them harm. And I'm talking very high. After workouts that are too high intensity, personally, I really don't feel good. Sometimes I actually feel physically sick. I ache. I'm tired. It doesn't actually make me want to exercise again. I want to give up, go to bed. Then you've got medium. Now, after medium intensity, I actually feel better sometimes. still tired, not wanting to do more, but much, much better than the high intensity workouts. But it's actually the low intensity workouts that are really interesting. Now, my Fitbit calls this the fat burning zone. I feel great after these workouts. They can be longer than medium or high, so I can take more time. And I'm actually motivated after. Now, this could be different for you, but for me, I feel great. Now remember, all of this is based on heart rate, which means that one person's high intensity workout could be another person's low intensity. So forget what other people are doing. Look at yourself. What was interesting is that the book I read many years ago was the first time I'd heard that low intensity workouts or fat burning zones might actually be better for weight loss. Your body uses up its glycogen. This is a chemical in the body before it actually starts to burn stored fats. Now, that can take at least 30 minutes of working out, sometimes more, to burn up this glycogen. Could you easily maintain a higher intensity workout for more than 30 minutes? Because if you can't, you would not be using those fat stores until after that time. So if you stop at the time your body uses up its glycogen, then you're still not in that fat burning zone. It's much easier to have longer, lower intensity workouts than the higher intensity one because you can sustain it longer. This is why a lot of weight loss programs encourage walking, especially with friends. Now, if you chat and walk, it doesn't seem like a workout. You might not even sweat. You can talk, but you are still going through your glycogen. And as you stroll, wander, chat, it doesn't have to be power walking. You're still going through that glycogen. And if you have a nice long stroll, you will probably have more energy than you did than a 30-minute high-intensity workout. Now, for years, I was dieting and exercise and believed that I had to work out harder and faster to lose that weight. But as I said at the beginning of this video, it was when I stopped. I reset and then restarted slower. And to be honest, I could walk and talk and I enjoyed it more. Then I actually, at that point, I did start to lose weight. I actually used a lot of tools, and one on its own, I personally don't think that it would have worked for me. It was a combination of these many tools and not just one on its own. Okay, but I found the right combination for me. So let me know in the comments if you have been given advice on exercise that has helped or didn't help you, and what exercises that you do that makes you feel more energized. I'll be recording videos on other bits that I've learned about exercise over the years. One will be on my actual struggle with running. Okay, well, not really running, but a slow jog. I actually started running and I hurt myself very badly, so I couldn't even walk without a knee brace for a while, which is a story I'll tell in another video. So I just want to thank you so much for watching this, and if you found it interesting or useful, please do click on the thumbs up and like. And if you'd like to encourage me to do more or view more of my videos, please do subscribe to my channel. If you're not sure how to do this, so subscribe or like, please mention that in the comments. I do have another channel which has a video on how to subscribe and like and explains what it means, and I can send you the link for that. So thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye for now.